Give everybody, got something on the camera. Actually, I prayed out here. This is the ranch where I do the meetings with my daughter. Now they're at that San Diego the animal shelter. They kind of volunteer run it, but my daughter also does her own nonprofit. I put the link the other day, Pets Alive. See, look at all this property. This is a big ranch my daughter owns, free and clear. My house in Corpus Christi, I own free and clear. My daughter, son-in-law, their beautiful area. You see me do videos. I have another daughter that lives in the Bluff. They own. I said, John, you got like family that. I own everything in Corpus Christi, Texas. What? I'm the bondholder of every municipal bond that the city of Corpus Christi has put out. I could call in the bonds collection tonight and you'll be bankrupt tomorrow. You're nuts, John. You're scaring us. That's the intent. I'm the moth, you see. I'm the moth. The Bible says God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Let me give you a little history of out here. People actually, I told this before, but when my daughter moved out here and bought this nice property, this ranch, sometimes, this is Jim Wells County, okay, this is, I'm in Sandia right now. The little pet thing is in, I think, San Diego. It's kind of, we might go over later. My daughter wanted me to come out here because she thinks they did that damage to the pet thing, which they run. And she, before, when they leave town, they had people come out here. Now, me and Connie, Sweet Pea, we came out here and prayed and rebuked them. So what happened during that period of time was one day my daughter went and Lulu, they went to Mexico because they help out the mother who's very sick, Lulu's mom and Lulu's dad. Pray for them, by the way. I had. But they would have to go to Mexico, you know, to buy the actual medicine legally, but it was too expensive, whatever it was. But one day when they left, people came into this property. I told all this, okay? All this is not new. And my daughter was worried. She got home from Mexico, and somebody came in and went through the property. And the way we knew that happened was she had one of her dogs by the name of Han, who's a pit bull, which is still here. But he got bit by a rattlesnake, or a snake out here. Okay, it's happened more than once, and his whole face gets swollen. They take him to the treatments. So that day she left, he had another bite. He was on the. So they kept that dog in the house. But there's so many dogs out here. If somebody illegally, which they did, we think it was the dogs. And I reported this. I went to the sheriff on this. The sheriff, because there was a guy, a man in uniform. When I used to first come out here, I made like a little driveway, it's still there, out of concrete, where I could park my vehicle outside of the gate, because the cars get stuck out here a lot. And it was legally parked, but it was outside the gate, but on her property. And one day I was sitting on the porch here, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I saw that cop come up. Never got his name. And he gets out of his cop car. And he's walking all around the vehicle on her property. But he didn't know I was sitting on the porch. It's closed in. So I got up. I walked over on our property. Owned. And I said, you got a problem with that car or what? Oh, well, it's new. And I got all my fire department badges. You're on our property. No warrant, looking at my vehicle. So I said, that car's perfectly legal. He didn't like my attitude. I said, and this property's owned free and clear. My daughter had bought this with cash. What are you doing on the property out here? Oh, okay, no problem. Then I came out like the week later, because I'd come out, on that time I was staying out here like on the weekend. And one day, after he says, oh, that's fine, then they slapped the tow sticker on it. This vehicle is illegally parked, the big orange sticker. So they figure, we break rules. We're lawless, is what they figure. We have badges, but we are lawless. We're above the law. That's what they do. Oh, I went out that afternoon, saw the sticker. If you don't move it, we're going to tow this vehicle. He thought it was a joke. I did take the sticker off because I was moving the vehicle 70-something miles an hour on the way to the Alice to find the guy who illegally retaliated. And the name was written where you couldn't glance. So I went to the police station. I want to know who put this damn sticker illegally on my vehicle. Then eventually went to the sheriff's department. It was after that somebody entered this residence. We believe it was illegally a cop, because nobody else really could come out. And they figured, the cop figured, I'll just go in and look around. No warrant. And my daughter knew somebody came in, because they went in the front door. And then when they went out the back door, Han, the pit bull, got out, which they were not letting out. But he figured there's so many dogs around. When the dog ran out, he probably figured, no big thing. She knew and I knew. Then I went and I talked to the captain in charge. I said, look, the other thing about the sticker and all was, obviously your officer, your sheriff's deputy was pissed off that I was rude. I get all that. I said, I started parking the vehicle behind the gate, though it was legal where it was. I said, but now you have entry into a house. And they waited. They knew the days that she was gone. I said, now, this is a big problem. And he believed me at the end, the captain I spoke to out of Alice. But it was with the sheriff's department, okay? SO used to refer to them. So there was a history of that. Now, whether or not, sometimes in areas of South Texas, you do have a cult, you do have witchcraft. And it was possible that they were doing something that was called gang stalking. This came up the other day, but Connie, Sweet Pea, she told me how this happened to her. And one of the other guys in the bluff told me, they're doing it to me again, John. He's involved, different. You've never seen him on video. So I figured, maybe there's people in this area. They didn't like that she had bought this. There's a house right across. When I park, it's right across the street. And there's always cops, officers, like officials that are there. My daughter said, like, they park there all night. What are all those vehicles doing there? These are like cop cars and just on that other property, which seems to be a little suspicious. So we figured maybe people that are involved in stuff didn't really like an out-of-town or owning this land, something like that. And after all this happened, I remember one day, I came out to do my little meeting, and my daughter was here. But then they left. The truck left. Somebody was keeping an eye on the truck. And it couldn't have been that house across the street, because what happened was I stayed behind for maybe another hour. It just so happened when I went out to my car, a truck came from this area, came right past her house. Right when I was getting ready to pull out. So what I did was, I figured these might be the people that are watching when my daughter's truck leaves, because it happened that time when they went to Mexico. So I figured, it just so happens they waited, like right after she left, then another truck looked suspicious. So when I back up, I usually go out the main road, but there's like a whole turnaround for people that actually live in this area, but that's not the main thoroughfare. So if a truck's coming in from off the main road, coming into this area, the only reason is they might live in this area, okay? It's like a side area. So instead of me going out the main road, when that truck passed me slow, I backed up, and I didn't so much follow it. I did in a way, because I said, I'll go out this way. Let me see if these people live in this neighborhood. Why they kind of waited until they saw my daughter's truck leave. So I went neighborhood route. And that truck saw that I was behind them. They saw that I left this property. And they did a little turn. I figured if they live in this neighborhood, that'd be the only reason they would have come in that way. Because that's the main way in, the main way out. So I figured, let me see if they park somewhere, like they live here. They didn't. Then they went out to one of the back roads. Then they started heading to the main highway. There was no reason for them to have done that. And I figured maybe they realized we're onto them because I waited here. And after that, and I followed the truck, then they kind of went around. Then they cut down some side road on the other side. So whoever's been out here for many years, they have connections, whether it's cops or cults or whatever. They knew, oh, this guy knows about us now, which I did. Meaning God revealed that. The Mothman followed them. And it didn't happen after that. But we did put security cameras out here, put no trespassing signs all out here. So, after I made those videos this morning, that's when I got all the calls and texts that somebody had killed the dog or beat up the dog, tore all the security cameras down at the San Diego pet shop. And it wasn't me coming up with the texts and calls were, I was afraid that they're going to be targeted again. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Particularly by some of them that were cops. Isn't that so wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? You know, in the street world, they got a rule, you don't target family. But in the other world, no, we can do anything. Let's pump more money into. We need to keep putting more money into those. No discipline. Look, you got enough on that first video. That is not a joke. You got enough if they looked into that and said, we want to find out who made this complaint out here. If it was a retaliation by Chief Markle. There's enough there for him to face charges, which is called official retaliation, which is a crime. If the light shined enough, he could be in jail for that. Don't worry about the job, keeping the job. You should be. But then again, South Texas, you got that chief of police who has got enough on him about the incest. His stepdaughter shot herself with his own revolver. He's still chief. That's a little town out in this area. That one was, it might have been the same town. It might have been San Diego. Thinking. It might be the same. He might be the chief law enforcement officer. And I talked about him. His name is Chief Nava. He might be the top cop in the same town, San Diego, where my daughters. So maybe Nava saw us talking about him. He should have been removed immediately, that guy. That Chief Nava. He's still in office. And my daughter speaks out on issues. I'm ready to go to heaven today. He said, but John, we have all types of, we have people, John, that we're connected with that are willing to die to kill you. I'll go to heaven. I'm not targeting anybody. And he'll be in hell, whoever you get to do those little underground things. And then the moth goes, flies away. Okay. This is the update, okay? Another one.